since I just chilled and played video games. Like on stream like that, you're right. I just want to play some dumb brainless little games I was in the mood for while I do this. We're live now. So the video should be up. So anybody tuning in, watching this maybe afterward, as a VOD or whatever, it's just a stream where I'm going to be chilling, playing these stupid games, and then having any Zoid that wants to talk to me about whatever fucking issues they're going through. Not necessarily because I'm any good at helping them with it, but maybe just hashing it out, talking it out could be useful. Just getting out there and then it being heard by people that get it or might understand a lot better, not a little bit, a lot better, what it is you're dealing with, Zoid feels wise, or lack thereof at times. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing here, and that's what I'm going to be doing for probably like an hour and a half or so. So yeah, that's that. I think I might have to repeat that one more time at some point because it's like nobody on here yet.
Probably.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't like I have anything better to do. All right. Man. I haven't even played like all these games. I bought this a long time ago and I just like I wanted to kind of like mess with it, and then I just forgot about it, and then I was like, oh, I like this guy's games, I want to play his old games. Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do, play his old games.
Is this just like a bundle of the old
games? These are like his old, like his like pre, you know, him blowing up like he did games. Like this was like some of the stuff that I guess originally was like on Live Flash, you know, and things like that. And they're like remixed versions with like improved music and cleaned up stuff. But yeah, I guess this predates like you know, Binding of Isaac, Super Meat Boy, all that shit.
I see.
So yeah, so it's pretty chill stuff. But I've never played a lot of these games, so it's kind of interesting. Hey, what's up, Georgian? See? She awoke from the coil. Times you wait for her. It just watched her with her as it crushed her ego, dragging her just enough to reach inside. Okay. Sounds pleasant. Okay. Press enter or what? Or is it making me one? Or is it just assuming I read very slowly? It's weird. There's some audio I'm not hearing. No. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm a spermie. Or something like it. Okay. Is this like Snake? Am I just playing Snake? I feel like I'm just playing Snake. Or something like it.
Was that also an old game?
What, Snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what Snake is? It's that one where you're just like a snake and then you just like...
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, okay, because Snake, the old Snake game is basically like if they crash into your body, they get destroyed, but if you crash into someone else's body, you get destroyed. So you have to trick them into crashing into your tail, without accidentally, while they're trying to make you crash into theirs. So I'm guessing that's what this is, because Snake's like a super old game. Like I'm talking like Atari and shit. So I'm guessing this is some kind of variant of that, based on the movements and stuff. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's
no
not.
Wonder
okay.
I don't know it.
No, it doesn't look like it is a variant. Okay, well, I'm getting... Looks to be an egg. Oh, there we go. Alright, I don't know how long it's going to take for this to move past this, so I'll talk a little bit. Oh, okay, so there's 5 people on here. Okay, so the stream is just basically me fucking around on these games, but if you want to talk about if you're a hermit, like you're on Patreon and you're a hermit and you want to jump on the VC, go to the Orchard. You can like talk about whatever fucking problems you're dealing with to me, or on the chat if you have questions about Zoid stuff or emotional feels, Zoid related type shit. You know, that kind of stuff. Just drop it in there and we can talk about it. If it'll help you, hear other people talk about something, or it would help you to talk about and hear other people that might understand, listen. So yeah, it's just kind of a Zoid support sort of chill time. Lost like 3 people immediately. So good.
I can relate with their attention span.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I talked for like 2 minutes just trying to explain what I'm doing. Jesus Christ. All right, whatever. What are you gonna do? So what's up, Nanoma? What's going on?
A lot and not much at the same time. My
Oh,
brain is pretty empty right now.
oh yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sure things will come to me, but if you're trying to depend on me to
oh
come up with
no,
a
I can
topic,
never do that. No, I don't. There doesn't have to be any particular topic of. I mean, I'm just curious to how people are feeling right now, like Zoids
yeah,
and stuff.
that's what
Like,
I mean. Like my brain is
yeah.
just fried.
How come this game won't continue? I don't understand what. Just press spacebar, right click, like. I haven't figured out why the fuck it goes forward into the next area or whatever.
Maybe like swirl your mouse. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, something's happening here. Am I trying to separate these? Oh, I got some more people hop on. Hey, everybody that's hopped on right now. It's just a sports stream. If you want to drop in chat shit that's bugging you that you want other Zoids to maybe hear about so that maybe you can listen to somebody that might relate to that shit, talk about it, like me or anybody else that's joined me on this live stream. I got Nanomo with me right now. You're more than welcome to do so. If you have any like questions about whether the stuff regarding being schizoid and how it feels and all the shit you have to go through and confusion, the anxiety, the depression, the anhedonia, the abolition, everything else, just fucking toss it in chat. It's just a fucking basic bitch feels fucking stream, but for Zoids. When I released her, she could feel her wet hair running through her fingers. She was alone, and she could feel him inside her. The feeling was comforting, familiar. His presence scared her. She knew that there was still watching, waiting. Just get out. Okay, so I guess, yeah, you were right about that, by the way. Isn't that funny? Thanks to Nomo. I like such
No
a dumb
problem.
boomer. Oh man, like, oh no, I'm getting attacked by stuff. What's happening? Oh no. Leave me alone.
What's your experience with the general like
What?
despair and
Well, it's like all the time, every day. What do you mean?
dread
Like,
of
oh, okay. You mean, oh, I thought you were saying in general. Okay, okay. So what were you
well,
saying?
just like in the schizoid sense.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't even know. Like, I mean, if you can be more specific, I'll fucking go into it about
Let's
my
see.
feels or whatever regarding all that stuff. Like,
I suppose just how like uh
what aspect of it are you referring to? Because there's
mm,
plenty of shit that makes me fucking pretty sad and unhappy with my existence. So,
I suppose an example that comes to mind, I guess, is just like how doing, at least for me, doing like real life shit, trying to get my shit together, be it like, I don't know, just an random example like banking stuff or
mhm.
just that sort of stuff. Um, it either makes me feel nothing or it's just entirely dreadful, the whole process.
Are you talking about just like everyday tasks?
Yeah, just
But what do you mean exactly? Like, are you talking about like when they involve other people, or just doing anything at all?
kind of just anything at all.
Because I'm not too sure why. Because like I don't personally get dread from tasks. I get like tired and low energy from tasks. Usually the only time I get dread from a task is if the task is um like involves people I don't want to deal with and such. Um like things of that nature, or situations that involve a lot of people I don't want to deal with or are really energy draining. Like just doing a task, I'm pretty fine with it. I don't care. Like as long as it doesn't involve a lot of those things. Like say I have to, I don't know, wash the dishes. I do it. I just do it. Like I don't enjoy it. I don't care about it. It's just, I just do it because it's something that I know that if I don't do it, it's going to turn into an even bigger task. It's going to be even more annoying. That's kind of how I see it. Like, If I
Yeah,
don't take care of, yeah, it's
I
just gonna get
suppose that
more annoying.
that
Yeah.
wasn't a good example. It's too like in general to for me to describe. I'm sure there's a different example I could use, but
I'm not
I
sure. Yeah, I'm not
you
sure what you
know,
mean. Like, what
there's
kind of
just nothing coming to mind right
No,
now.
it's all good. Maybe somebody in chat, all three people in chat right now. Wait, you're probably one of them, huh? No, I don't know. Well, so all
Yeah,
two people in fucking
probably.
chat. So funny, man. Like that's the thing. Like that's the only problem with like these sort of streams is like I don't know why, but like I'll actually make sense. Like that a lot of Zoids really don't want to talk about how they're feeling, or they don't even know.
I
So
mean,
it just makes them
it's
uncomfortable, or
difficult.
they fucking then they're like fuck this and they leave. But yet when I do those like stupid big brain streams, I get like 12, 13, 15, 16 people. Like it's just like and trust me, I don't always want to be doing that kind of stuff. Sometimes I want to chill too. Because that's the whole point. Like when it comes down to it, like the only reason I'm doing all the what the hell am I supposed to do with this? The only reason I'm doing the theory stuff to begin with is because I'm trying to. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so fucking weird, dude. I don't even know what kind of creature I'm supposed to be doing here. Um, the only reason I'm doing the big theory, big brain, all that bullshit is so that I can better help people and they can better help themselves. Like that's the whole reason for it. It's not like a masturbatory thing where I want to feel like I'm so I'm so smart or something stupid like that. Like it's more like, oh, if I figure out all this annoying shit, all this theory and all these complicated matters, then that'll translate into being able to do a better job of helping other schizoids and other cluster ape types peeps and more recognition, awareness, and all that kind of shit. So like that's how I see it. Like it's like the work that needs to be done in order to better accomplish the and better enjoy and accomplish things in the support and awareness sort of department. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like how I see it. It's just work I need to do. Like, and it can be fun work. It's just, sometimes I do want to just do this. Like, I want to just, I don't know what this game is supposed to be. Sometimes I do want to just do this. I want to just play video games and chill and do nothing else. And
I think
talk with people.
having a balance of content is good.
Oh no, I totally agree. I just wish I wish I had like at least such a weird gross game. But I like it. Yeah, it is kind of satisfying. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I'm a fetus and I'm dropping eggs now, and some kind of creature that lays eggs everywhere somehow, but I still look like a little weird fetus. And then like the narration doesn't seem to. I can't figure out. Maybe there's like some deeper meaning I'm not really taking the time to look at. Because it describes like a story, but the story doesn't feel like it applies to what I'm playing. The music's nice. I'm sure it does in some like other capacity, some symbolic capacity. But yeah, like I want to just hear people's life experiences because that helps me a lot too, especially in understanding what it is that we're going through. But along with the fucking that was it. That was a game. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was a game. I was whack. Okay, I must have missed it. I must have missed the point of that. Wait, it won an award? That game won an award for what? I didn't do anything. I mean, it looked cool and it was satisfying to look at, but what's the point? All right, maybe I missed something. I must have missed something. Oh, something else appeared. What's this? Let's play that. Okay, play. Oh, that's weird. But yeah, like I'd rather people just sometimes show up and be like, oh, this and that happened to me. This is how I feel about this, and so on and so forth. But that usually doesn't happen. It's really difficult to get Zoids to do that. I mean, we've kind of been conditioned into not doing it. So, so asking people to do it is like a tough sell,
I think one of the things like other schizoids may also struggle with. I can only speak for myself, but for me, I struggle with like just, I mean, sharing it in general, but like if it's on this sort of topic, my brain is just empty. Like it doesn't really, it doesn't seem like it can come up with much in
Yeah, I
this
know how
regard.
I know how that feels. Trust me.
Yeah.
Like when I talk to my therapist, there you go. Like, why don't you talk about the same stuff? Like, if any of you see a therapist or anything, like some of the shit you would talk to your therapist, just bring it up in chat or hop on the VC if you're a hermit and talk about it. Because just hearing other people talk about those things is beneficial to the people listening, especially since it might actually incentivize them to want to talk about their own experiences as well. I don't
Well, do
know.
you have anything to share in that regard?
I always have stuff to share, but I talk enough about myself. I'm bored of it. Like
Well,
I
I'm
have.
just asking because if you share something, it might give me a thought.
That's true, but I just I'm so tired of being the one that talks sometimes. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well then ask questions.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Yeah.
like I do. That's I have a whole channel where it's just me yammering and yammering and expressing stuff like constantly, and I'm like I want to hear other people yammer too. I want to hear them yammer about. Wait, what do I press? Arrow keys to move. Oh, okay, so this is an arrow key. Got it. Oh, okay, that's easy enough. I like the way that guy sounds when he talks. Oh, so here we go. JP said something. Okay, JP ID. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing IDK. Um, Today I woke up and stayed in bed for 9 hours before eating or drinking anything or do anything besides scrolling YouTube. I am not sure if this is relevant. No, that's totally relevant. That's 100% relevant. Yeah, dude, I've done similar shit multiple times. Like like every morning when I wake up, I generally spend like the first hour just doing nothing, like but staring at my phone, and looking at or listening to something, or just looking at the ceiling, or just nothing. Like I'm literally doing nothing. A to switch layers. Oh, okay, cool. So if I
I
switch that,
usually, God, I usually
it
spend
kills me.
like
Got it.
anywhere from like, it depends on how much volition I have that day, but most of the time it seems like I tend to waste like 4 to 7 hours doing absolutely fuck all. Like I'm literally just sitting there listening to music, but I'm not doing anything, even though I'm sitting there in my brain going like I should be doing something, I should be being productive, but I just don't have the will to do shit, especially when the anhedonia is strong.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. Oh, okay. What the fuck? I was trying to. Wait. There we go. Okay, I see. I'm dumb. Okay. But yeah, I mean I've done that before, the whole like 8, 9 hours, like when the anhedonia is real bad. I can't do that anymore. See, that's when I was talking to Burb about that, like how there's certain things that like even though I'm like a covert schizoid, or was most of my life, and you know, now it seems like, oh, look at all this stuff I have, right? Like, you know, I'm married and I have kids and stuff. Like it doesn't it just it all it did before I, you know, started doing this and actually started like having people in my life that understand the cognitive stuff, it didn't really like it didn't fulfill certain types of needs when it comes to that department. And so I was still like always, and if anything, it created new stressors where I was just like, well, I don't understand. I have this, I have that. Why am I not like as happy as other people about like why am I not as satisfied with my existence as other people would be in this similar position? Like I don't understand what's wrong with me. Like like what's missing, what part of me is not connecting to all this, is missing, is feeling isolated and lonely, even though I have like all these things that maybe other people haven't achieved, that have a similar situation. And that's the thing, like I think I tried to fill, hold on, What sliders? What do I do? Oh, okay. I tried to I accomplished things that are good for me and are good for my life, but I didn't accomplish one very specific goal, which was like oh shit, which was finding myself and finding how I connect to these things in relation to myself. So like, oh, okay, that breaks blocks. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. Sorry, I was trying to play a silly game. So yeah, like I found all these goals, like completed goals. Like I went to school, I got a master's degree or whatever. I, got married, I fell in love, all this stuff. I had kids, and everything about that stuff is, well, minus the school stuff, honestly, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Is great, but I wasn't enjoying the present as much as I should have been, considering all those things. And so I always felt like there was some piece missing in all of it. I don't know how to describe it. Like I was still really sad all the time, even though I had these things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I had all these things, but like I felt like I wasn't there with them a lot of the time. Like I felt like, why am I not here with my family? Like, why am I somewhere else? Like, where is my mind that I can't oh, there it goes. That I can't feel the present. Like I can't enjoy these moments. Like I can't sit here and go to the beach with my family, or enjoy the present with my family like my wife seems to be able to. Why am I stuck in like all these layers of thinking and everything? Like, why can't I just be here and present? Why are all these abstract things bothering me all the time, like getting to me and not letting me enjoy life and like the way I want to? And yeah, it has a lot to do with that. Oh my god, this game, I can't play this game. This game requires too much thinking.
JP asked, what goal were you working towards?
Just the goal was like, well, when I went to school, it was like, oh, I thought, oh, okay, if I go to school, I'm gonna find my calling, and I thought it was history, and I would find people that would understand me in the academic world and stuff about certain subjects. Like when it came to like my wife, like the need that was being met was one that has to do with more like affection. So it was like affection, but it wasn't like being complete, like I don't know how to explain it, being understood. Because even though she cared about me, and even though obviously she wants to understand, there's certain things that like she can't, because of the way I experience life. And so I always felt kind of like, oh, I guess I'm just always going to be this person that doesn't quite live like other people. And so no matter what goals I accomplished in like I guess normie world, it didn't I wasn't finding ways to enjoy those fulfillments. So what the fuck is this? Oh, this is just asteroids now. Okay, another old game. What am I doing? I don't understand what I'm doing. Oh, that's not asteroids. Oh, I really don't know what I'm doing. So if I run into them, oh, okay. Oh, I have to run into them. Okay. Got it. Okay.
I can relate with what you said earlier about not being able to enjoy things in the moment, being stuck in your head and such.
Yeah, because I didn't know. That's the thing. Like, that was a problem. Like, because part of the issue is that you don't know yourself. And so when you don't know yourself very well, because like so much of your personality and self is suppressed, you end up like, how do I explain it? Like, you end up pursuing the wrong goals. Not the wrong goals, like, but like you end up pursuing goals because that's the goals you feel that have to be pursued, and you don't understand why you're pursuing them.
I felt that way with my art, like, because it was just...
Yeah, you were good at it, so...
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm good at it, so I might as well keep drawing, right? Isn't that how it felt?
Yeah, I got, like, kind of... I'm not sure how to say it. I guess, like, obnoxiously cheered on by my mother and like everyone else that saw my art in my family, like they thought it was the hot shit, and so it created like an expectation to be good at it and improve like extremely fast when like I put way too much pressure on myself back then. I still enjoyed it back then, but um, as I got older, that enjoyment just gradually dropped off a cliff.
Well, and another thing is too here. Let me explain to you when it comes to like something like, you know, like what I'm trying to describe. It's like, okay, even before I discovered my diagnosis and I was doing all this stuff, I love my wife, I love my kids, right? But the difference is I couldn't appreciate them the way they should be appreciated until I started improving and finding fulfillment in other departments, like doing the streams and talking to people and finding people that think like me and experience life like me. Once I started doing that, it made me appreciate, like it fulfilled certain needs that also allowed me to start really appreciating what I do have in a different way, in a different capacity. Because I no longer felt like, oh, I have to enjoy life the way normies enjoy it. It started changing in my head to, I can enjoy life and aspects of life in a way unique to me and the way I experience life and the way I see things. Like, it doesn't have to be the same way, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be their way. That's how I felt. And I think that's really valuable because, like I said, I was just going through the motions. Like, if I knew what I knew now, like if I knew what I knew about myself, what I discovered about myself via this whole project and the channel and the server and everything else, if I knew that, I would have never gone to school for history. I would have never bothered. Like, to be honest, you know what I would have gone to school for? Like, if I could redo, like, you know, going through all those years of school and getting a master's, I would have gone for like, what it called, therapy and psych. Because I would have had the stupid, not because I think, you know, degrees are so worthwhile and special and necessary, but because the world kind of makes it that way, and I would have actually had something in my pocket that I could use.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, oh, look, I have a, you know, a master's or a PhD in, you know, therapy or something, or social work, or something that has to do with helping people. And so then, you know, I would seem more legitimate or whatever by, like, the normie world about, like, my positions and my intentions. Instead of looking like some fucking random weirdo that's just saying he wants to help people and making, you know, coming up with theories on how to help people and what all this means because nobody has done any of the work. You know, like, so then like in my head it's just like, man, I could have made different choices in my life, and even if I made similar choices, like say like, you know, if I would have found this out about myself, like and discovered more about myself through all this, like when I was in my mid-20s, right? If I was in my mid-20s, I would have, like, you know, I would have been like with my first kid, right? But then I would have been like enjoying a lot of the moments that I missed in life with them. Like, there's a ton of stuff I can't go back and feel and experience that I missed because I didn't know the context in which I could enjoy those things. I was trying to force myself into a context that didn't make any sense. I didn't know how to enjoy things the way I enjoy things. So I didn't know how to enjoy life the way I enjoy life. I guess I died. Or starting to learn how to enjoy life, in other words. And I regret that. And I want to make it so that other people don't do that. Like, they don't have to go through that. Like, I want to help the people that are right now in their like 20s, people like your age and stuff, that like, that way they can discover the stuff about themselves earlier in life, and that way they don't miss out on any moments. I mean, and that's the thing. That's the main difference between, like, if you want to talk like covert and or low functioning, high functioning schizoids, is that like, the only difference is the low functioning schizoid is gonna make a lot of choices to withdraw to the point and not assimilate in any capacity, or they're not going to be feel like they're able to, or they can't because they're like the severity of their distance to the world around them is like even more extreme for cognitive reasons and otherwise. And so then they might get to a place in their life in their 20s or 30s where they never even took the chance, or they never even got to a point where they had a meaningful relationship with somebody, meaningful friendships develop, shit like that they could actually feel, and not in some like kind of illusory capacity. And then there's going to be the schizoids like me that even though we accomplished certain things, we weren't actually enjoying them to the degree in which we could have been, or we would have at least understood why we wanted those things and why they brought us some contentment, like finding those things and having those things, like fully understanding it and appreciating it, instead of being confused all the time and not knowing what the hell's wrong with you. And then
Yeah.
you miss out on years, like I did. You miss out on years of good times I could have had with like my wife and my kids, and just years of it because I didn't know how to really enjoy what was in front of me.
Can you mute the music? Someone said it's distracting for them.
That loud? All right, there. I don't care. It's just a game. But yeah, that's my point. Like, there's two kinds of schizoids, and I think that's like two of the prime examples. They're the covert ones that went through life, they're going through the motions, but they're miserable in their own way, even though, like, say they're meeting certain needs, like say they have a GF, and say they, and all that kind of stuff, and like there's certain needs that maybe they're meeting to a degree, but now that they are meeting those needs, they want to keep them, and so in order to keep them, they have to keep up the covert stuff, more so in order to not lose it. But at the same time, what few needs they are meeting in that capacity don't feel as fulfilling as they could be, because you don't know why you even enjoy anything, because half of your personality is fucking suppressed. It's in the goddamn shadow. And so, and then the people that are more low functioning don't manage to meet those particular needs, like like say the whole GF and all that kind of shit, because they're more low functioning. They're suffering more because they feel like they're a failure, or they didn't get through life, or that the only reason they're miserable or whatever is because they didn't try hard enough, or all these negative thoughts about yourself and your efforts, and that if I would have tried harder, maybe I would have like been happier because I would have had this and I would have had that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe a normal you could say that about like a neurotypical person that just didn't made that some similar decision for a different emotional sort of reason. But somebody that has a bunch of suppressed personality traits and aspects of themselves, fuck, I suck at this, even if you were to have achieved those goals that you're talking about, that you're thinking like, oh, I wish I would have achieved, it doesn't necessarily mean you would have enjoyed all those years of doing it. Like, you would have, and then you might have got to a point where you would have achieved those goals, you would have got that GF, and then you would have just been sitting there going like, oh, okay, so now what? I don't understand what it is that I'm getting out of this completely. I don't completely understand what it is that the person I'm with is getting out of this. I don't understand. I think I understand, or I have to come up with reasons or rationalizations for why it is that I'm supposed to be, enjoying this moment like other people, but yet when I'm in them, I'm sitting there going like, why am I not feeling as happy or as excited as everyone else around me seems to be? And that's why, because you're fucking sitting there like an empty husk, feeling like an empty husk half the time, because the majority of your personality is suppressed. It's just not there. So how can you enjoy your life or any of the moments that you do accomplish without your personality being fucking available to you? Or your sense of self being suppressed? Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to do that shit. Fuck, the controls on this shit is garbage compared to Meat Boy. But this is like the prototype, I guess. And then again, I suck, so I played Meat Boy on fucking originally on console, and I'm much better. I can't do these fucking buttons. Oh my god, timing is so awful. But does that make sense to know all that stupid shit I said right now?
Yeah.
So right now, the process for like say people like you, Nanomo, is like, oh, you're finally starting to have certain needs met by making friends and other things, happening in your life in association to the server and whatever else. But at the same time, you're still trying to recover from all those years of personality suppression and all
Oh
the
yeah.
trauma it caused, you to do a bunch of stuff and live so many years without in having a suppressed self. Like that shit causes you trauma, that shit causes you depression, shit causes you all kind of not fun shit. And but
Yeah,
you're working through that shit, and all those
yeah, I
feelings of,
struggle
oh, I
with
didn't
it quite a
accomplish
bit.
anything, or because you've told me that, like, oh, you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm just sitting here wasting my life and I don't understand why and blah blah blah. Like, like it's, and that's why, because why would you be motivated to do anything with your life when you can't even feel your life? um and that's why I'm just like, yeah, it's not a matter of, oh, the person just wasn't motivated enough. Well, I mean, yeah, it actually kind of is. It wasn't a matter that the person wasn't wanting enough. It's just that they weren't motivated because they didn't think anything was there to begin with. They didn't think, one, the needs aren't that I want to meet aren't there. Two, I don't really even understand the fucking needs that I want to meet completely, or if I do, I kind of understand it, but they feel like really impossible to ever achieve in any realistic capacity. So then you just sit there fucking feeling like you can't do anything, like you can't move. These fucking this physics on here are so fucking sloppy. I can't do this. Jesus. Okay. Mind you, this isn't like complete Meat Boy. This is like alpha Meat Boy. And this is like, god damn, look, I'm barely jumping forward. It just goes straight into the fucking no.
JP said, I relate to what Burb said earlier about many tasks being dreadful. I, for some reason, refuse
Oh,
to
that's
do
not Burb. This
things.
is Nanomo, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not Burb.
No, this isn't Burb. This is Nanomo. This is Nanomo.
But
You know what? I
anyway,
fucked up.
it's,
That's my bad. Because look, I didn't do the thing.
it was so
Hold
good.
on.
Uh,
I didn't put the fucking what do you call it? God damn it. Hold on. I'm gonna do it right
the
now before
Discord overlay.
yeah, the not the overlay. Yeah, not the overlay, like the thing. Yeah, the box where it shows where we're talking and shit. So people
You're
can't
all
actually
good, JP.
yeah, yeah. People can't even see like who it is that's fucking talking right now because I'm a fucking boomer and I didn't do it. Hold on. I'm surprised you didn't tell me. Like I'm actually surprised you didn't say, "Hey, oh shit! Don't tell me that fucked up my stream." Hold on.
I thought it was intentional, so you could show more of the game.
No, no, no. It was not intentional at all. See, you made an assumption. Bad Nanomo. Bad Nanomo making assumptions. Hold on. No, that's not what I want. Where is it?
You're
There we
right. I
go.
shouldn't. I shouldn't assume you know what you're doing.
You really shouldn't. That was like the dumbest thing you could have been doing, is assuming that nonsense. Okay, hold on. Where is the fucking window? I don't even see it. Oh my god. Okay, it's in the corner. Okay, it's right here. It's supposed to be right here.
Yeah, I can relate to that, JP.
Oh my god, I'm so awful at this. Why am I so bad at everything?
I frequently just I get stuck in the indecision, and then I rag on myself because I'm sitting there in indecision, like I should be doing something, but
Great. Just did that.
it's like starting a task can just be too much. Like it can be painful almost. Because if I start a task and it produces anhedonia for me, then it feels more disappointing for me. It's like, damn, I should have just sat there doing nothing, or maybe I should have done this other task instead of trying to do this task.
This window? Keep talking, and I'm trying to figure out how the fuck my boomer ass is ever gonna show you.
You're all good.
Because like for some reason the way it's set up. Hold on. See if we can do this. Can't see the fucking box. Okay, there it is. Okay, that's the box. But that's the wrong box. Why isn't it showing it? Oh, I hate everything. I hate everything. Oh shit! Can you hear me? There we go. I tried to rejoin it, see if it fucking lets me do it this time. Come on. Come on, OBS. Let's do this, OBS. Let's make this happen for everybody, alright? Let's see if we can do this. Dude, it just won't show up now.
It's boomer technical difficulty
No, but it's not
hours.
even boomer. Like, dude, this is like this is the way I've done it like for this whole time. Like, and it's all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it's not
I
gonna
know,
work
I'm
like
just shitting on
this.
you.
This time it's not gonna work, even though it's worked all other fucking times. Okay, I don't get why this isn't. My shit breaks. Like every fucking. Okay, that side. What's this? Yeah, that's over there. And then that's this one. That's my volume mixer for some reason. And this should be the door. Should be that. It just won't come. It won't come up. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah, that's for Burb. I'm trying to find. Damn it, no. We should have your picture. I should just have a picture uploaded of your ass.
Do you want me to send you my icon? Do that.
Yeah, but OBS sucks and randomly changes settings. Yeah, dude, no joke. Like no, but it's just weird because like I've done this a million times before where I like I bring up the window for the actual voice chat I'm doing. But in this case it's just saying like, oh no. Yeah, it says you caught
You have it in the pop-out window, right?
Yeah, I have it in the pop-out window. So it's right here. So I have it in the pop-out window. And when I select the pop-out window as a... Well, you know what? Let me try a new capture source, because that's probably the only way I'm going to be able to make this happen. It's probably some fucking stupid setting bullshit that's fucking with me. Let me see if this works. Let me delete this one. Yes, go away. Webcam, window capture. Okay. Let's do a new window capture source. There we go. Okay. Window capture 2, window capture. Okay. Now, add new source instead. Yes. Stream. Okay. Source added. Go. Orchard of speech. Nope. Won't do it. It's so weird. I've never had this happen. Yeah, I know, but I've never had this happen. I'm pissed. It's so fucking aggravating. This has never happened before. Alright, well, let me get this picture and then we'll just fucking, I'll just download this shit and... Hey, by the way, does OBS let you fucking, just save images? Not OBS, sorry, Discord? Because for some reason, anytime I try to save an image on Discord, it just, like, says you can't, and then I have to go to the link of where the actual image is so that I can fucking use it. It's the dumbest shit. I don't know what's up with that. All right.
I usually just open up the link and then save it through that method instead of right-clicking it. Never had issues.
Yeah, that's what I do. I like right-click. I won't even copy it. Like I try to right-click copy, and it's just like nope. That's not happening. All right, here we go. Oh shit! Now I don't even know what name. What was it named? Oh, there it is. Never mind. I found it. There we go. There you are. There you are. All right. There you go. Yeah. Did it, guys. That's Nanomo. Now I'll put Nanomo over here. That's who I'm talking to. Let me put your... My god, everything's so complicated on this shit. So this is not Burb. This is Nanomo I'm talking to right now.
Hello.
A different internet friends that I have. Okay, so back to chat. Ugh, after all that fucking boomerism. Oh man, there's a lot here. Holy shit, you haven't been keeping up, Nanomo? Come on now.
Some of them I didn't really have responses to.
What if I did?
We were busy.
It's all this chat now. See here, I was distracted. I was diagnosed with ASD as a kid, but I don't really relate to it as an adult too much. I found out about schizoid and a lot of things you described seem to fit. Am I being dumb? No, you're probably not being dumb, maybe, because there's a lot of people that have been diagnosed ASD early on in life, and then it didn't quite fit because they were running under certain assumptions that, like, oh look, this kid is withdrawn, or this kid is not reacting or paying attention to the things that he's supposed to be doing, and blah blah blah, and this that, and so, or they're not learning what they're supposed to be learning at the rate they're supposed to be learning at, and all this shit. And so then they end up making a decision of either like diagnosing a kid ASD early on, or a lot of the times what happens is that kid gets diagnosed, like me, ADHD. And so then it's like, oh, they don't really quite understand what's going on with the kid, so they kind of slap a label on them that kind of fits. And because they just don't have the methods to really figure out some of this cognitive stuff, because they don't really look at, when they're trying to study a child's behavior, they don't really look to cognition too much. They kind of look at just the behavior itself and responses to certain stimuli and all that kind of shit, and then they kind of go like, oh, okay, well, this kid must not be able to focus, instead of going, oh, this kid just can't focus because he doesn't focus on the stuff that we expect him to focus on. And that's a lot of the problem that comes with it. So I mean, it's a distinct possibility. Obviously, you want to talk to your psych, you want to talk to somebody else. As an adult now, that you don't see the ASD. What do you call a diagnosis as being as relevant or as useful to you in trying to manage your life, or it doesn't apply to you. You feel like. Because of a variety of reasons. And then you just do your own research and go to a good psych, and then tell your psych your situation. And a lot of the times, if you find a good psych, they'll listen, they'll hear you out, then they'll do the right kind of prognosis and such, or diagnostic sort of activities and things that you need to do to kind of figure some of this shit out. And then you can get re-diagnosed, or because you might have been misdiagnosed as a child. But I'm not saying you were, but it happens often. Norbate from Wikipedia, there may be substantial difficulty to distinguish Asperger's syndrome, yeah, sometimes called schizoid childhood disorder, from SPD. Yeah, it happens a lot because there's a similarity going on there, right? And that main similarity happening is that the ASD kid is probably quiet and withdrawn and busy with whatever they're busy with, and same thing with the SPD kid is, or the cluster A kid is going to be like, too busy going off into la la land, zoning out and stuff, to be paying attention to the things that they need him to, and probably will be more withdrawn and disconnected from the things around them, at least in a normative capacity. So yeah, that happens a lot. I relate to a, oh yeah, oh, that's what you read already. Let's see here. Let's see here. Nomad, Imperial. Interactions feel like obligation. Yeah, and maladaptive dreams tend to come up with social situations from national scale to PAL. Always feels contradicting. Worse, the inbuilt laid-back mode to act. I'm not sure what you mean, Nomad. Let me see. Interactions feel like an obligation. Yeah, and maladaptive dreams tend to come up with social solutions from national scale. I think I know what you're saying. Like, oh yeah, I don't know if this is what you're trying to say, but it kind of makes sense. Oftentimes schizoids, right, when they do dream, they'll dream in ways that aren't really the type of behavior, or they'll perceive themselves displaying certain types of behavior that they wouldn't ever feel the need to express in real life. Or like they will have a dream about themselves getting angry about something that they normally would just be kind of stoic about, or wouldn't care about, or be indifferent about, or whatever. But in the dream, you're getting upset and you're getting mad and you're feeling stuff that maybe don't make sense to you once you wake up. And I think that's a lot of that suppressed personality coming out via the subconscious and all dream state type shit. So that's why a lot of the times when we dream, the dreams feel kind of incompatible to like our living time, or waking hours. Sorry, that's my theory on it, at least.
I think that makes sense. I frequently have dreams, and I usually act differently than I do in them.
Yeah, maybe you're more like assertive or more happy or more this, or like, you know, you're displaying like behaviors
It's
that
less that sort of assertion and more so I just do the actions that I wanted to do or felt like
Oh,
doing.
okay. So do you
Like,
find yourself drawing and stuff in your dreams?
no, it's more so on like a social sense. Okay, so like one dream example, um, is it started out with me at a party and there was someone who was infected with something, um, that was like transforming them, and everyone else at the party didn't want to interact with them or touch them at all. So because if you touch them, you'd get contaminated, and I didn't want them to be alone, so I went over and touched them, and then I held my arms up so I wouldn't touch anyone else at the party because it was in
I like how there's a
close.
party with some random infected persons. Dream logic's so strong.
Yeah, uh, but I raised my arms up so I wouldn't infect anyone else, and I just to the rest of the partygoers, I was like, "Look, they're not hurting anyone. They may have this contagious disease, but, like, it's fine. I have it now, I'm not gonna infect you, so relax." And then because it was a dream, after that, they turned into this, like, black, foggy ghost dog, and you could
What,
see
the
its
infected person?
yeah, and you could see its ribs, and then I went to a garden and got married to this ghost dog. Uh,
So funny. So basically, all you did was live out the plot. All you did was live out the plot of the that one anime. I forgot what. Oh, what's that anime called? The Brides, the Magus' Bride or whatever.
yeah,
You know
you
what
know
I'm talking
what?
about? The Magus Bride.
Yeah, I watched that,
Yeah,
dude. It might have
yeah.
been influenced by that. I
No,
don't
yeah. It
remember
looks like
exactly when that dream was, but I
Nemo.
watched
Don't
that so
lie
I
to
won't
me.
be
No, no, no,
surprised.
no, don't lie to me. Tell me, tell me that Magus character isn't your type. Come on.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, see, I knew it. I knew it. Like that's what I mean. Like, it's funny too, because like I've spoken to a few Zoids that actually identify with that show a lot, because of the characters. Like they either identify with the girl, or they identify with the Magus. Because
From
they,
what I remember, I liked them both.
yeah, like, but they feel closer. Like I don't know how to explain it. They identify like as one of them or the other usually, but I'm not saying that's always the case. But um, and yeah, I get it. It has to do with like it's kind of interesting because both characters have very like kind of both feminine and very masculine energy, and like, but it's very unconventional and very like different and very kind of cosmic-y and strange, and not 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 like it's like kind of really abstract levels of feeling and emotion and all that kind of shit, because like, you know, he's like this fucking, he's not even human, but he's also like missing all these like feels, and he doesn't even understand himself or what he is and all that kind of shit, which is really relatable. Um, anyway, and then she feels like the same. She has that kind of feelings of worthlessness and you know, like, who am I? What am I worth? I'm not worth anything because like I don't even know what I am or why am I alive and all that kind of shit.
I should rewatch that. It's
Yeah,
been
it's
a
a heavy
while.
show. I mean, if you think about it, like the reason she's all fucked up is because her mother or her parents neglected the living shit out of her and treated
Yeah.
her like she was some fucking burden. Um,
Will Sherlock said, "Hi guys, I've only recently become aware of the schizoid thing and found my way here as I'm trying to learn more. These videos and the things you're talking about here are massively eye-opening."
Oh, well, I'm glad it's helping. It makes me. I'm just glad to hear people say that. Like, it's useful. That means I'm being useful, so that's good. Oh, which brings me to a point that should, since you brought that up, anybody that does watch this stuff and enjoys the streams and enjoys the conversations or the videos or the server or whatever, please think about supporting me on Patreon. It really helps out a lot. That way I could spend more time doing this, because I'd rather be helping people for a living than looking for some shitty job, which is what I'm doing right now. But in any case, what were you saying? What were you saying before I shielded away and I forgot what we were saying? Oh,
Uh,
the dream stuff in the show. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that show is very, like, very significant to me. I watched it. I was like, I like this character. Uh, uh, and I mean, and honestly, I think the reason some of the, I guess, what quote unquote romance or whatever in that show, because it is technically like a shojo, you know, it's a romance show. But the reason the romance is appealing, I think, for a lot of people that are like Zoids and stuff too, that I've heard from them, is because it's not, one, it's not very sexual at all, like at all in its nature, right? And two, it's very unconventional. Like it's about like trying to find oneself and one's place in the world and all this shit, and then finding another sentient being that understands how your existence feels, and then connecting to them through that means, instead of like through normal social means and other things that normally would connect humans to each other or sentient beings to each other. I think that's why that show runs pretty deep for a lot of people, that like are kind of socially disconnected for a variety of reasons, or they're looking for romance or essentially a relationship in the context of a totally different like way of doing it or way of experiencing it, if that makes any sense. Anyway, there's more chat stuff. Your content is much more interesting than oh yeah, no, for sure, but I don't know, I just like to have something on while I'm fiddling around. It's better than just having my ugly face just on the screen for no reason. All right, what else? From what I imagine, being present is, it terrifies me for some reason. Yeah, of course it does, JP. Being present is scary. That's probably why I didn't do a lot of it most of my life, is because being present means coming to terms with like the existential stuff that terrifies you. And a lot of the existential stuff, that the reason so many schizoids suffer with depression and anxiety having to do with like existential concerns is because of you know, you have your, like the majority of yourself, or what would have been yourself, underdeveloped and suppressed, because I mean underdeveloped because it's been so suppressed. And so when you gain access to the present, when you gain access to yourself, or you try to like navigate who am I or whatever, and you feel like you're coming up empty, that shit's fucking scary as fuck. Like that shit is fucks you up really bad. And so bad at this. And so that's why you end up in that kind of like almost paralyzed state of existential dread when you try to be in the present. And your brain just starts going to every direction possible except for the present. Because being in the present in that sense is terrifying, because then you feel like isolated and empty and so on and so forth. And you don't want to be where you are. You know?
Yeah. I'm usually zoned out to some degree, at least all the time. I feel, because when I really just am able to essentially sit down and actually be like fully conscious of myself, my life, everything in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
it just, like you said, it creates that like existential dread and terror. And
Yeah,
I
and
used to deal with it a lot as a kid, and like a day or two ago, I felt it to that strong degree, and it's just like
well,
my
yeah,
brain
but
was like, hell no.
the way I see, I know your brain says hell no, but the way I see it, is fucked up and as tough as it is, in my opinion, it's part of the healing process.
Yeah,
Because like you have to kind of go through those motions and then start finding the good in being in the present in order to start enjoying your life in any capacity. Because like what happens too, like I said, this is just my bullshit, but this is just everything. This is all I think about all fucking day when I'm not playing video games or something. Um, is that when you go through your life, zoning, the reason you're zoning out is because it's better to zone out than face some of those realities, right? And face some of those
for
feelings
sure.
of like emptiness. So you rather just zone out into some la la land somewhere, about either thinking about nothing or thinking about something entirely different, or something completely irrelevant to your immediate life. And so then you it becomes like a maladaptive thing where it's like, oh, I just keep like, that's why it feels like half the time you go there even when you don't want to be, right? Like even when you're not looking to zone out, you zone out. So and that might just be because you're essentially, you've trained your mind to be that way. You know what I mean? Because if you're in a perpetual state of kind of zoned out, then you don't have to feel all this dread depression and discomfort. I mean, that's just my thought on it. That, and also you're surrounded by a world that, you know, couldn't really meet your needs because your needs are very different. And so it's like your brain goes, oh, well, why am I paying attention to all these things that don't accomplish my needs? Like, don't give me anything. Like, why pay attention to all this? And so it's almost like your brain just starts going like, oh, okay, well, I'll just be over here now because all this other stuff isn't really doing much for me. So you end up like fucking, yeah. I mean, that's what happens to me whenever I get even remotely bored. I just start zoning out. Or if I don't relate to the things occurring around me, I just start zoning out. I have to like locate or pinpoint something that I find relatable about what I'm experiencing to some capacity for me to like be able to focus a lot easier. Let's see here. Okay, what do you mean when you say being present? And do you mean the same thing as normies? Because normie psychology says to do that a lot. I have no idea what it is. When people say being present, I think they're referring to that. Like, stop. Well, I think it's different. I think because like when I say being present in regards to being a Zoid, it's more like I'm not going to tell you to, oh, just work hard on being just be present in your life. No, I'm never going to tell you that. That's bullshit. What I would tell you is do things that would allow you to meet needs that are more abstract and different than most, you know, neurotypical needs, set of needs, or the way you interpret what those needs are, whether it's loneliness and affection and other things of that nature. Find people that you can do those things with because they're similar to you on that kind of, you know, psych sort of cognitive scale. So that's why I have the server. That's why I have the channel, so people can listen to me and go, oh, that guy's saying things that I feel too. Yeah, thanks, Pharaoh. Totally a nerd. I am actually in a lot of ways. But if you jump on and you hear my shit and you go, hey, that guy's saying stuff that I feel too, I can relate to that. Even parasocially, that in a sense is fulfilling some kind of need. Which in turn, when you're doing that, you have less stress, and when you have less stress, you can start working toward being in the present, like normies get to be 90% of the time. So I think that's kind of what I mean, and that's why I have the server. That's why I have this. I think it's just a matter right now trying to fulfill more needs for people that don't have a support system and don't have anywhere in which they can meet those needs. And not until you start doing that to some degree can you start, you know, quote unquote, living in the present. Because how can you live in the present when everything's suppressed? Like, you can't do that. It's just not going to happen. That's why you mask up all day. That's why you're like myself. You're just, or what, especially before, you're just living some persona because that's all you have. You're not really enjoying the things you want to enjoy to the capacity that you're trying to enjoy them. That's why oftentimes many of us relate to literature and video games, movies and shows, emotionally feel more connected to all those things than anything happening in our actual life because it doesn't really require us to you know, have any sense of any completely constructed sense of self to try and experience concepts and ideas outside of ourselves. We just kind of integrate them in order to kind of create something, you know, manageable. That's how I feel about it. Fuck, I hate this. I suck at this so bad. I can't do this. God damn. See what else I have. I got an ADHD diagnosis. Yeah, that's so common. I know actual dose with ADHD. It's barely like when you think of how the cognitive. Yeah, AB, dude. Like I know plenty of. I've met already a ton of schizoids that basically said, "Oh yeah, I was diagnosed ADHD as a kid, or I was diagnosed ASD, or I was diagnosed this or that." Tends to happen pretty often. Let's see here, JP. It's like living in the present for pleasure and memories is just wasting time, and that I want to use to think about life. Yeah, that's what's funny is it isn't a waste of time. It's you can do both. You can do the process of thinking about life like in a more abstract sense and then still live in the present. Because I think a lot of the problem is we never learn how to live in the present by our own in our own methods, in our own way. because there's nobody to teach us how to do that. There's no other behavior to replicate growing up, because the behavior you're trying to replicate growing up is incompatible behavior. It's incompatible value systems. So then you end up like replicating and copying people for a lot of your life, and all you're doing is copying value systems that feel generally meaningless to you, or too small, or whatever you want to call it. Hi guys, I have only recently become aware of schizoid thing and found my way here. Oh, is that what you read? Yeah, you did there. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then yeah, that's when we get to what a nerd. Yeah, I'm a. It is definitely very nerdish of me to give a fuck about people. I would have made fun of myself like half a year or more ago. I would have said I was cringe. Guarantee you that. I would have said, "What? You're helping people and giving a shit about them? That's cringe." That's what I would have fucking said.
Wholesome content is where it's at.
Yeah, but I would have been saying how fucking cringe I am. Like, we're trying to fucking thinking I could help people and thinking I'm like competent enough to do anything about this. Like, I would say that shit was cringe and that I was being delusional. That's what I would have said like months ago. That was never like all this stuff I'm doing now and talk about now was not really the intention of what I'm like what I started. What I started, I had no intention. I didn't even know what I was doing. When I started this, I was just like, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. But I felt like I had to do it. I felt like I gotta do this. There's nothing out there for us. Fuck it, I'm gonna do something. And then over time it turned into like having an actual mission statement and goal. What are schizoid needs? Oh yeah, I keep describing like having different types of needs. See, well, when I say some of my best points are found in abstraction, but also a crutch, yeah. So what I mean by like meeting needs, I'm talking about like certain human needs that are real basic, but they need to be fulfilled in a more abstract capacity, or it's just a different sort of way. Like for example, like a one very fundamental need is affection, right? So when you talk about affection, for some schizoids, it's different things, right? But for many of us, it isn't holding hands and it isn't like cuddling and things of that nature. Like, even though some of us do want that, but a lot of times when we even get it, it becomes uncomfortable for some reason. But to fulfill that need, you would have to find affection from someone that understands your value systems or has similar value systems as yourself. Generally, people that grow up in a family, they have I'm gonna take a break from this game. The people surrounding them, like their mother, father, sisters, brothers, whatever, have similar value systems because they're pretty normative in the way they perceive the world and experience it. Same thing with the friends and stuff you make along the way, like the meme, and in school and everywhere else. So then those sort of things, they start fulfilling certain needs when it comes to things like affection and socialization and stuff like that. But because, and this is, like I said, these are all my, me and Burbs and other people's I've talked to ideas that we're developing, is that when the schizoid is talking about something like that, oftentimes it takes a completely different light. It's either something more abstract, like something that goes beyond physical touch, or it goes beyond said words. It's something else. It's like a quiet feeling, or being respected, or being left alone, and then being alone with somebody else. That's the best way I can describe it. Being alone with someone else is the way I feel most fulfilled, personally, when it comes to certain things. And that's why I tell my wife all the time, she's my favorite person to be alone with. Meaning that, like, I want to just have her nearby. And for a Zoid, sometimes that's just enough. Just having a person nearby that appreciates and understands you, or loves you and respects you in a sincere degree. It like that could be just that abstract notion could be more fulfilling, a kind of need for affection, than say heavy petting and other things. But that's not to say those things can't be fun in their own degree, but that's not how you get the vast majority of the need department fulfilled.
I can relate with that with my partner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like sometimes just like okay, I was talking to a Burb about how like me me and uh me and him express like friendship, right? The way we fulfill like friendship related needs. Like what needs I'm meeting for like them and vice versa on the social sort of levels. And the way we do that is like, okay, so if I'm feeling a certain way or I want to convey a certain thought to Burb, I'll be like, I'm feeling this way, so I'm gonna tell them to watch this video or listen to this song or I'm gonna tell them to look at this piece of art or this idea that's being conveyed in some kind of speech or something. And it'll be in relation to like the kind of complex emotions that I have internally happening pertaining to that thing. And then when they see it and they experience it and then they see what I'm seeing or at least have a similar experience with the content, then that makes you feel like, oh, this person understands me. But they don't have to say that. They don't have to tell you they understand you. Saying the words "I understand you" don't fulfill that need as much as showing something to someone that you understand a certain way and then seeing that person understand it in a very similar way without you having to necessarily word it out or explain it. That's like a really, really like kind of deep sort of way to do it. And obviously that's not something you're going to accomplish with most people. That's why in my opinion, within like the schizoid sort of friendship, that would be reserved for people that, you might become the closest to. Um, Otherwise, with like, in other sort of regular social situations, just a matter of not having to worry about a lot of faux pas, a lot of like concerns that normative frameworks have regarding communication. Um, like like when I'm on the server, I get to talk to everybody the way like I don't have to mask up. I don't have to pretend I care about things I don't care about. There's a lot of stuff that I don't have to worry about not saying and not experiencing, or, being honest about, or whatever, or concerned with. Like when I like say I get on a server or something and I'm talking and doing stuff, if I just gotta go or I just go and then I go do whatever and I don't say, oh, I'll come back later. I don't say any of that shit. I don't have to. Nobody needs me to do any of that on there. And I don't need anybody to do that for me. And so that lack of pressure alone makes the environment that much more agreeable. Because there's not all these like things that you have to worry about all the time that you normally have to worry about in kind of normative sort of social situations. So because of that, that allows you to not to make social situations less stressful, and in turn allows you to connect to other people that don't have those priorities in place either. And like I said, it has everything to do with the whole value system thing. Like when you're around people that have similar priorities and similar value systems, you feel good because you feel like you're in this. You finally found an in group of some kind. Like you found a community of people that you're like, oh, I'm a part of these people. I'm a part of a thing outside of myself. That's nice. That feels good. Because that's not something you can really accomplish IRL, at least not at the moment. Anyway,
Patrick said, you also help those of us normatives who have schizoids in our life or on the fringe of our lives and have no idea how to interact with them, even though we care about them deeply. It's so difficult to maintain that for many of us when there's no reciprocation. So thanks for
reciprocity.
that help. You're both interesting and glad to hear Nomo for the first time for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. I haven't been doing these more chill streams where you just talk feels and experiences. That's more what Noma. That's what my Noma's about, right, Noma? That's what you're more about. The kind of talking about life and experience and
Yeah.
shit that actually happens like on the daily instead of like a bunch of fucking jibba jabba all like I like to do.
I do enough of that in my head at times, so.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it. So you're like, I don't want to talk about that. That's boring. Um, I
Or
get
it
that.
just goes beyond my level of that stuff, so.
Or interest too, right? You're just like,
Yeah,
it's too much energy, right? Like too much energy.
well, a lot of the time I get lost zoning out because I get stuck on the terms you guys use.
Yeah.
I'm one for layman's terms, so if I can describe something extremely simply, I will.
Okay. Sorry. Just being told I got some time left, but I gotta take care of a bunch of other shit. So, oh, baby just walked in. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, well, I'm glad it's helping people that aren't Zoids and just want to understand this stuff a little bit more. Um, So I mean that part's good. I've had a few people because now I might as well mention it again. But now on the server there's like a section where people like there's channels and stuff, specifically where people that aren't or they just don't identify with or aren't diagnosed or whatever, or haven't done enough research or talk to enough about people to really kind of even semi self-diagnose themselves, but are interested in the subject or wanna or have people in their lives that are diagnosed and things like that. There's like channels now on the server for those people to join. So even if you're not schizoid, there are parts of the server that are fully accessible for like awareness purposes and communication purposes, or if you want to talk to other people that are schizoid, or you want to know more about it through their experiences, you can go there and ask questions and all kinds of stuff and read stuff. So that's available now. And so yeah, any of you that are listening that don't quite know if that's what you are or like those are your adaptations that you're dealing with, and those are your issues or whatever, there might still be a place there for you to communicate some stuff that could be interesting. Especially if you enjoy the content of this on this channel itself. So that's my recommendation. Join the Discord. It's I didn't put it on this description because I'm dumb, but I put it on the last video, and I also have it in the About Me. I have it in the About Me section, so go there. Links are all there, and all that kind of shit. Um, yeah. AB said you can't be part of something outside of yourself alone. No, you kind of can't. You can, but you can't. I don't know how to explain it. You can't in the sense that like, yeah, you still have to kind of externalize some aspect of yourself, which is really uncomfortable for any of us. But not to the same degree, and not with the same expectations or the same requirements that normative frameworks generally have. Yeah, exactly. What is myself? And that's what's interesting is you can't really develop that part as much as you would like without fulfilling some of those basic needs that even we ourselves are half the time unaware exist because we've suppressed every other aspect of that. Like it's so crazy. It's so fucking confusing. It's like you have needs, but you suppress the want for those needs because you can't experience them in your world around you generally. And so you like essentially, a lot of us have essentially gaslit ourselves into believing we don't need any of those things when it isn't true. And that's why half the time we feel like shit is because we're still not fulfilling needs that are very basic and human. It's just that, the way that those needs are met in the real world generally aren't suitable or compatible to us. So then, how are you going to develop a sense of self without ever accomplishing the most basic of necessities psychologically? You're not. It's pretty crazy. How often do you guys do these chats? Do you have? No, I want to do this at least like once a week or something. Like where it's more chill like this, because we have. I like to do this. I also do D&D on Saturdays sometimes. It just depends on if I have something to do that Saturday morning, with Nanomo here and a few other people. This is mostly Zoids coming together and playing D&D. So doing a social activity, which is funny, with other people that don't generally enjoy a lot of social activities, but yet they seem to enjoy participating in this one. And then I do streams with Burb, which is usually when we get into theory and ideas and like break down and critique things and blah blah blah. That's what Nanoma always says, like all that big brain shit. Like, yeah, it's usually that's what I do with Burb. I call them the A and B conversations. And then I also upload like rambling and all kinds of shit like that, and whatever's pops into my head and I feel like talking about. But if you want to just, like I said, these particular streams, I don't know if I can do this consistently. That's the problem. I would love to, but the only way I could do this kind of stuff consistently is, again, if I'm at home more and I have resources to do that. The other thing, too, is that you don't have to rely on my dumbass being on a stream to experience these kind of conversations and talk to people. Just join the server, check it out. If you're not sure you're comfortable, saying you have these schizoid adaptations, you're not sure, you don't want to misdiagnose yourself and some kind of self-diagnosis type thing, you can still join and you can still go to places where you can talk to people that are more sure about themselves when it comes to like, the whole schizoid thing. And a lot of people that are on there are also, professionally diagnosed and all that stuff. And so then you can talk to the people on those channels to see if maybe you can figure some of this stuff out. With them, or if you want to talk about it and such, if you have questions about it. Like if you went on the internet and you saw, oh, what's this schizoid thing? Oh my God, so much of this matches up, but some of it doesn't. I don't get it. That's a good place to go to start asking questions and figuring stuff out, for sure. I'm tired now. Hey, Nanoma, how long have you been zoned out? Probably the whole time.
Oh, I've been listening.
Oh, good. That's a record. I start writing that shit down. Record time. You should have like a stopwatch. Like
my memory and attention span has been getting a little better lately.
That's really good. That's really good, Anomo. And you know what, man? Like I said, I think that has something to do with all that shit I was talking about. So, like maybe you're retraining. Maybe that's what you need to work on. You got to retrain your brain to actually enjoy what's in front of you, because you can finally enjoy certain things, at least, to a certain degree, So, so that's good. Saku tired shut saying hi before getting myself some shut eye. Go get some shut eye iron. Watch us later if you didn't watch it earlier. So that's amazing. Thanks, guys. You're welcome, Will. All right, guys. I'm gonna sign out because I gotta do some stuff. But next time I'm on like this and I do another support stream or whatever, just get on. Put some questions up. Whatever. Like whatever's on your mind. Even if it's stuff that like is criticizing the stuff I say, I don't give a shit. Like whatever you're trying to hash out about yourself and your issues pertaining to this sort of stuff. And mental health things in association to it, and how sometimes comorbid stuff can conflict with it and all everything else. There's always something to talk about. And you can ask me questions about my experiences and myself if it's useful to you to hear answers for that too. Like you're 100% welcome to do that. I'm here doing this stream for that intention. You wouldn't be prying. You wouldn't be, fucking with my agency or any of that shit by asking me questions. No, intrude away. I'm an open door. That's the whole point. Yeah, I think that'd be it. Nanomo, is there anything you want to mention before I sign out of here? Or anything I should have mentioned I didn't? Some stupid.
Patreon.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh, Will. There you go, Will. If you want to support this sort of thing and you're interested in it, think about Patreon. Links in the about me and all that kind of shit. It would be in the description, but I'm stupid and I didn't put it there. But in any case, yeah, go there and give me your money, because then I can keep doing this more instead of, looking for shitty jobs that I don't give a fuck about. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.